You don't have to say what we're thinking. You can just...
You just think it like the rest.
Okay.
And we're in. Thank fuck for that.
Okay, we live. Okay, now we've been waiting like weeks and weeks and weeks to come back because like me and James like ripped down all this gear to film. Okay, we can't talk about what we live streamed in Melbourne because it's the antithesis of like what we're doing here tonight. Okay, and that's just a little in joke. But the thing is, no one's gonna be watching this, so the whole thing is just gonna be fucking in jokes.
Yeah, because it's 10:27
Yeah,
p.m.
I know, but we're prime time in Estonia right now, so that's perfect. And these guys, not Steve, but Liam, Luke, and James all got back from a comedy tour. We've been sitting here for like an hour just riffing. All of us have got compression headaches, and like we've literally, even what we were saying before wasn't that good, and that was the prime. That was like when our fucking blood sugars were high. We weren't fucking depressed.
Me and Steve were friends.
Yeah, and it's all fucking over now.
That blood is soured, and you can stay over there.
Steve, that's not a saying.
Yeah.
What? That's no one's ever said that. That milk is off. And
Okay. That blood has soured
Soured.
is a turn of
That's the
phrase.
thing.
It's a turn of phrase you say as you're having a stroke.
that toast is.
It's interesting on this camera here
Bad.
because you're so much shorter. You're like the kid that's stuck between the two gay dads that are fighting and bickering, and you're just like, guys, can we please?
Listen, there's been a lot of bad milk between you guys.
It's
Damn.
and it's sort of funny because like Liam is easily the tallest here. Like Liam's like 6'2", 6'3".
Biggest penis too.
Yeah. And I remember like we
Made
did,
that weird.
like Steve has a special. Check it out. It's called it takes a village to raise an idiot. Yeah. And we watched it right. Now, Steve was roasting me at the screening. Now, in the special, Steve roasts himself about being fat, being ugly. So I said to him, I need to go a different angle. I said, hey, Steve, can you grow to average male height and whisper that in my ear? Steve's like, well, I'm not short. I'm like, dude, how do you not know that you're short? And then Liam's like, how tall are you? And he said how tall he was. He looked it up, and he was 2 centimeters less than the average. He's like, and he put his head down. He's like, yours ugly?
No.
And yours a fatty? I didn't know I was fucking short.
It honestly killed me. Honestly,
decimated him.
it wounded me. I would not like to admit, but I did not know that I was below. But it's only by like fucking this much.
No, but the best
And it's also the Australian average.
And the thing is, we're only getting taller. So every single year, it's 2 centimeters this year, 3 centimeters.
No.
Hey, Steve,
World average, I'm fine.
Steve.
But
Thank you, shorties in
No.
China.
the best part of that was the Wikipedia entry seemed to be on the joke with us because the way it phrased it, it first said the average height is, and it gave roughly Steve's height, and he goes, see? And he goes, that was the height.
Yeah. And then it ended with 5'7" is still short. And I was like, why did you then build it up for a few sentences saying it wasn't?
I understand that emotion because like my car got stolen years and years ago, right? And it was full of all this fucking DJ equipment. I was just praying I'd get it back because I had no fucking cash. And the cops rang me at 3 a.m. They're like, is this Mr. Brady? I'm like, yeah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, we found your car. I'm like, oh, thank fuck. Like, yeah, it's been melted in the road in Islington. And I'm like, open with that next time. Like, you didn't find a car. You found melted plastic. Like, you fucking assholes. Not only do you wake me up, like leading me down this fucking like it's fucking
The relation in that story was Steve was short and I was the DJ, so we were both dickheads.
Also, as soon as they said Islington, you should have known that your car was melted.
Dude, was it actually? Did they like burn it out in the? Was that really what happened?
So
Melted.
So I did an arts degree. So it was I went to an arts lecture.
So no wonder you're here with the rest of us.
Yeah. Well,
Steve thinks that's actually painting.
Brady.
So Steve thinks I was saying that as not a joke on me. Steve's like, Brady isn't saying this ironically, so I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, he just said, all right. It doesn't matter because I don't know what degree means.
It's temperature.
But before we get off the subject of Steve's height, you said that you only...
Officially the shortest on the podcast right now. We just want to say that.
This will be a nice short riff.
I reckon I've got you, Connors.
No, absolutely.
No way.
No.
Fucking no way.
I'm 5'11", dude. So I know that you said that you're only this much shorter than average height, but to someone that is average height, you are that short. So
Yeah, I think he's taller than you.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
Like, James has had like several spinal and shoulder injuries, and he's still taller than you.
Yeah.
He's like 3 not having milkshakes away from having osteoporosis, and he's always going to be looking down on you. Okay, so like Steve, look, what? It's
You got him with osteoporosis.
Yeah,
You freaked him out.
So I don't know what that is, but I know it's offensive to me.
Yeah. I'm just going to wait until the words start sounding familiar. And then I'll join in.
Can you tell me? I'm sure they've heard that story. But can you tell me that story about what you were saying before about when you were writing stories in class? How you used to use your name.
Oh, yeah.
This is how retarded Steve was.
I like how because like Luke started that so professionally. He's like leading into a story. I'm like, this is very Dave Letterman-esque. I was about to say it. And he's like, and how retarded you are. Like that's like professionalism for a second. He'd be like,
get the band to play.
Yeah. Hey, Porsche, have you got any songs about retards?
They were just saying it in the mic.
Steve's a retard.
I said, hey.
So one guy's playing the guitar with the plug out. He's just
They've got like guest guitarist Jack White up there just fucking shredding about Steve being a retard. Like, yeah. So anyway, I'm Steve. I'm being retarded. Yeah.
Well, my life could have been a lot different if I actually went to a non-country public education.
I think if it said my life would be a lot different if I didn't have so many chromosomes.
If God didn't build me this way, I'd be much different.
So short.
So short, so hairy.
Hairy's good, though. I'd rather be hairy than hairless.
Yeah.
That was a Liam
I've
stab.
seen your beard. It's pretty shit.
That's not a beard.
Yeah, it's pubes on your head.
Nothing. Keep going.
And, like, the thing is, like, these guys have been like riffing, and at the beginning it was funny, but now we can see there's actual vitriol there. And,
Now we're just ruining friendships.
this is like, look,
Well,
this
that would happen if we were friends.
This is my expression, and I love it. It's literally chicken soup for the soul.
Sorry, it's not my fault you didn't invite me to your wedding. I'm glad.
Well,
If you
I
would be,
cared about you at all. You couldn't.
I
I'm just saying.
Fucking hell.
really set myself up for that. That
Here we go. I cared more about Dave, but it didn't come. I cared more about Dave.
that one was my fault. That was my
Yeah.
fault.
So yeah.
Alright,
So, sorry, Steve's. Yeah.
I was like, so.
Trying to take us long.
Fucking hell, dude. Could you imagine him as Winston Churchill? We'll fight him on the beaches. Okay. Can I bum a ciggy off someone before I say like, fighting him on the hills? That's sort of like fucking hell, Steve.
Adolf.
Okay. Can I just say, right? So all of us have done stand up for a long time. Steve has done it for 10 years, and this is how he starts a sentence with 40 coughs and forgetting what he was saying. I'm like, fucking
That's
hell,
how I've done stand up. What are you talking about? I'm not going to change how I'm doing it. I always get too drunk and forget what I say.
Yeah.
That's like my go-to.
Yeah, Brady.
If I go up sober, everyone's like, "That was really good,"
But
and
like,
I'm in denial.
So many people like get drunk to forget, but you just forget normally. Like I don't understand like why you need to
I
like,
don't know.
spend the money.
Well,
on
there might
booze.
be part of this story that I might tell eventually.
You know.
When I was in primary school, I was yelling
Steve is
at
so
work.
uneducated. He struggles to say the word school.
When I was in primary school,
Yeah.
I used to write stories. So I thought it was all normal.
Yeah.
I learnt the letters of my name. So I learnt S-T-E-V-E.
So everyone just take that in.
He's like snake shape, Jesus on the cross shape, a fucking fridge without one side.
We've given him the bare essentials. He's got a vowel and 4 consonants. He should crush it. A V and an S, he'll be right.
I think
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think one day.
It's the S from McDonald's,
Yeah.
the
Okay,
T from a porter.
We just need to say, even though Steve's incriminating himself, he literally has a learning disability, and we're all laughing at that fact. So Steve has.
Well, it's fine. That's how
Well, your special ed teacher didn't think so.
No, that's the issue. She did.
Well, she did. But like,
Okay.
so I then used to write stories, and I thought that made sense. Like I remember there was like the man's in the cave. You know, the man's doing
Yeah.
great. Like I was
You-
like, I don't know, but wait.
Can I just
But
say,
wait, but
that is a hell of an elevator pitch. Like, so Steve, we heard you're this great comedian and this great screenwriter. Do you have any ideas? Yeah, it's about a man in a cave who's doing great. Okay.
That was actually his pitch for
He's
120
5 right now.
yeah.
He's 5, and he can't read. He's pretty good. He's
And great
good.
is spelled D-R-A-T.
Steve is thinking about himself in the future. There's a man in a cave, and he's doing great.
Cave is spelled with a K, and great is spelled with an 8, but it's fine.
But he's doing great. Exactly. Fine.
His 5-year-old self was asking his future self if he's okay.
Okay.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay.
But wait, no, you got to finish it. You got to finish it.
Yeah.
What?
So he's writing these stories. He thinks they're great, but
But they were only in like STEV.
so the whole story would be like
It was just random letters, but I mixed them up, so I thought I was even good. So some of it would be E.
He's just writing Steve.
Yeah, so it was just Steve throughout the whole thing.
So
but in
you,
my mind, it was the cave, and he's great.
So he gets up to the class and they're like, "Can you read your story, Steve?" And he's like, "The man went to the cave and
my
it was
God.
great."
Oh my-
The teacher reads it.
my
Steve,
God.
Steve.
I
Liam's got something great.
I am just picturing your teacher looking like you've written out your story, and she looks at it, and it's like that scene in The Shining where she looks at the writing, and it's just that one sentence over and over again. So it just says Steve, Steve, Steve.
That's what it
Steve,
was.
it's Steve.
I like how the only person that could have read that was Tom Hanks in the Da Vinci Code. Like,
Yeah, because it was.
He would have struggled.
But then also more.
Forrest Gump might have been able to read it, but
Alan Turing, who broke
That
the
was good.
computer code. Like, fucking hell.
Also, Scone Public went, he's fine.
that's the best bit. Yeah. Would you,
So good.
Steve?
He's got 6 letters. I don't know what my name is.
Would you like?
He can't spell his name. He doesn't have any letters.
Yeah, you just said 6 letters, bro. 6 letters in Steve. Is there a Y on the end?
He only needs one vowel. And he's the most popular.
That's 5.
6 letters.
That's 5. I got
Oh, fucking hell, Steve. You're fucking almost 30, mate.
That's fucking funny.
So Steve's like, you know, I'm married. I can't wait to have a kid. And he's like, so, it's like, oh, fuck.
I'll tell you what, you'll be able to help me read. When I have a kid, I hope you're going to help me learn shit.
Oh, fucking hell.
Your wife wants to name your kid like Malachi, and you're like, there's no way.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst.
Was there a T in that?
Emmy's pitching names, and I'm like, how about Bob? I can handle
B. Something else.
B-ob.
Yeah.
Listen, I can spell Bob. It's only 4 letters. It's like-
You're really hoping it's a chick so you can call her Bethany, so you can literally just call her B. Like, it'll be fucking
Yeah.
fine.
It'll be fine. I'll call it B,
Fucking hell, dude.
and I'll be like, is it all lowercase? I can handle
And
that.
he'd be like, it should be like, Steve, you don't know what lowercase is. No, it's fine. Fucking hell, dude.
Is there any spaces?
Okay. so-
Mr. White, what would you like to name your daughter? Steve.
Yeah. Steve, and she's in a cave, and she's doing all right.
I like how you said, Steve, like that's going to help him spell the name, even though that whole story was about
Nah.
there's 6 letters in Steve and about 3 E's. So, like, fucking hell, dude.
Oh, so you would think your 6 letters was 3 E's. That's how you were getting.
I don't know. I just took a ballpark. I don't
Nah.
know.
You were close. It's fine.
Okay, so you guys just got back off a comedy tour, so we've done the thing. Steve has a part of his brain that's broken, and we laughed at him because he was born that way, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a little wave. So yeah, you guys just got back off the comedy tour. Like, how's the comedy tour?
It was very good. It was surprisingly good, I would
Yeah.
say. We went to no one knows anything about us, so there's no reason for any one of us to be on tour, obviously. Literally, like, and there was so many places where we'd get there and they'd be like, wasn't there meant to be 5 of you guys?
and one of the funniest
And
things
you're
that they're like,
on all the gigs.
yeah, so like because like Liam's like a really good character artist and he drew like pictures of like all of us because I was
James is wearing them.
Yeah, I was originally meant to be in this thing. Now,
Good.
what my only contribution, because I didn't go to any of the gigs, like I basically made it harder for you guys when they're like, we're getting 20% less comics. But there was one guy who said, I'm sick of these lefty PC comics, and he's like, you guys going to be shit.
Posted the day before the show.
Yeah, and then he looked up the reviews and he read my review
Yep.
from Doug Stanhope and said, well, at least this guy won't fucking suck. The only fucking guy who's not there.
1, didn't turn up anyway, and 2, just called us pussies all day for doing comedy, apparently. So that was fantastic.
So, how were the rest of the gigs? I heard you got an STI.
I got a couple, actually.
Well, I'm pretty sure they were already there.
Steve was just like, I got to get anything back. I like how I said, give me some whiskey, and you gave me, okay, so like.
You didn't say anything. I didn't know what that was.
There are some people that haven't watched all of this, and that's everyone in the whole world. But
I don't know what
so
that is.
What is this red state shit? What the
So
fuck
our
is that?
mate-
I didn't say anything. You slid your glass across.
All right, so
So I had that
all
in front of me. I don't know
So,
what
so
it is.
our mate Dave Gerner, some of you might have like seen Guantanamo Dave, but like, look, just a quick
shit.
breakdown. He was raised in a religious cult. His mum's a witch. Russell Crowe destroyed his dad's business, right?
Bang!
So anyway, he got us this, and we said, "What the fuck is this?" Because it's like, okay, there's a Russian star on the front,
Yeah.
and it's like fucking like the weirdest fucking language on the back, and we're like, it's like, look, it's not meant to be here. We're like, what did you say? Not twice. He's like, look, it's the grey market. Okay, so Dave got this. Me and James had a shot, and we both had to have the day off work, like the next day. Like it is literally.
I was about to have
fucking rocket fuel.
What?
Okay, look.
Holy
Look,
shit.
If you have a shot of this, there's a couple of things that's going to happen.
Yeah?
You're going to get drunk. You're going to get like you won't have use of your vision anymore. But you know,
Well,
like
that's,
you know,
I've already had it, but that's what I am at normally.
yeah, no, dude, you should absolutely have a shot.
I got to drive, but I want to taste it.
Yeah, dude, it's like
Thank
it's
you, though.
utterly illegal, and it will literally send you to another dimension for a second. Like me and James had it, and I'm usually pretty sweaty, but like James, like
He's some
got
big lads too, so
fucking
like
humid, man. And you go to another dimension.
You can
for about
kinda
8
drink.
seconds.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
What was that?
I was like, you can drink. So
No, I don't drink much anymore. But that was like LSD.
It smells.
Yeah.
It
I
smells like
started seeing devils and shit.
it's like rum.
Okay,
Well, I
look,
mixed it with the
there's
Valentine.
3 shot glasses. Can you pour 3 shots? And you mean Steve will do a shot?
We're
right?
doing. Can we do half ones? Because
We're going all the way. Hey, Panther,
Okay.
come on. You gonna come up here?
I'm doing a half one because I got to drive.
All right. Fuck, this is
Steve gets the big one.
All right, yeah. Steve, you get the big
I'm glad we did this on the pod instead of the 6 hours that we had before. But Liam, what did you think of the tour?
Oh, I loved it. Musselbrook,
fuck,
I
mate.
feared for my life.
The Brook.
Yeah, so that was our first stop. We, as we were driving there, like we'd just taken off. Apparently, James had just got his whole car fixed and roadworthy and ready to go. As we're driving, we hear the craziest noise coming from like the front tire. Like no one could ignore it. Like it's like a vibrating and like you can hear stuff fucking breaking. And we get to Musselbrook. We have to camp like 40 minutes out of Musselbrook, obviously, because there's nowhere to stay.
And Musselbrook is kind of fucked. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen, like, has anyone here seen The Deliverance?
Also,
It's just like, okay, so Musselbrook is like kind of like Deliverance. It's a town you don't want to break down in. Like, it's somewhere like, you got a real pretty mouth, boy. Like, it's.
But for no
that was that was the vibe of when we walked in the bar.
It's the city, mate.
But no.
It's the city.
But for-
Traffic lights first.
I got called a
It has to be
poofter during
covered.
our set. Someone yelled out poofter to me during our set.
I got called
Well, you
faggot,
are.
hard tea. Hard
What?
tea faggot.
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, dude, front row too.
Yeah.
That's Musselbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
What?
Holy shit!
Like, okay, so
I don't remember that.
this is going back a little bit, but I did this gig ages ago, and Liam was there.
I got,
What are you doing this?
Okay, well, yeah, we should fucking do this. Fucking cheers. You know,
here's to the alphabet.
here's to 2020 vision being overrated. Fuck that that's bad.
Dude,
It's so bad.
3 shots of that and you start speaking Chinese.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's wild. That's how they came up with their letters.
Okay.
They're looking at normal
This
letters. And then...
this is how Alex Jones started. Okay.
Oh
This
my
reasonable guy. It's so bad, dude. Hey, it's really bad.
I'm hoping after a couple shots of that.
So, like, we just acknowledge we have a mate in the corner over here. She's actually, like, she has credibility, a good job. She's got respect in the community. So,
And she's enduring a lot of this shit.
Oh, no, it's fucking bad. But she's one person who can drive us to the hospital. So, like, it's actually a really good thing.
Yeah,
So,
you need a responsible person in the corner.
Fuck, that's bad, dude. Like, my chest is so fucking.
I might have to spew.
Dave said it was the grey market, Lisa. So he goes, it's not the black market. And okay,
He's
so
had too much.
Dave, fuck.
I'm fine.
Okay, so Dave never gives you full answers. He will be like, okay, so
I'm
if you be
crying.
like,
You can always spew in your beanie.
No, I'm crying. I just started
Open it
crying.
up and spew into it,
Look.
and then it'll be hilarious.
if I tell you where he got it from, the next customer in
That
there will
would be
be the
funny.
Australian Federal Police. Like it's like you don't fucking want to go there. So but there was a gig a while ago, like a couple of years ago, where Liam is like, you almost got bashed for being gay. Like, again, so I just want to clarify, I'm not gay, but there was a gig at the Crown and Anchor where there was that guy heckling all night, right?
Yeah.
So then I got up on stage and, like, I was probably one of the only guys when this guy started heckling who's, like, an experienced comedian, and I was just, like, genuinely fucking angry at this guy. So I got up and I aggressively fucking hit on this guy. Like, it was a 10-minute set where, like, I don't know what I was saying, but I
remember that a
Well,
line
yeah,
that you said,
yeah.
a line that you said that I will remember forever
Yeah.
because it fucking cracked me up to no end because I don't usually laugh at watching open mics because I've seen comedy enough.
Well, because
But-
it's mostly tragic.
but
Because
I-
Luke's up.
But I fucking lost.
Have you been to an open mic in fucking 2 years, Steve?
Let's let Liam finish this.
I've been headlining, bitch.
I fucking lost my shit when you
No.
uttered the phrase "tight
Please
little
go.
twink bot."
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I'm fucking hitting on this guy and they just, like, turned the audience against him. It was real good. Got off to, like, an applause. And then this guy looked at me. I'm like, I'm literally going to get bashed for being gay. And Liam come up to me and he's like, dude, that was really good. But you're going to get the shit kicked out of you for being a gay dude. And I'm like, welcome to fucking Crown and Anchor. I'm like, look, can we just have one open mic where we can do new jokes and you don't get bashed for being a minority? Is that too hard to ask?
No, well,
It's
the
like-
only problem, yeah, you can have that, but it's called the Spanish Onion down here, and then it's just having beers with you. It's not really a show.
It's-
Like,
Yeah.
To be fair,
You
in
know
Muscle,
what?
we were doing tried and tested jokes, and we were going to get bashed for being minorities. So
So, like, okay, so
Nothing.
well, that's well,
Okay, so to make this a little bit more accessible to sort of like anyone who's watching this in Guantanamo Bay, some sort of like audio fucking, like, I don't know, fucking torture or whatever. Like, let's give a little bit more context. So you guys just went on like a sort of like rural tour of like New South Wales, Queensland. You did like 24 different dates over like 3 weeks as well. So like,
Yeah.
so like the first night James Cars fucks up. There was other nights. So like Liam, like this is like how fucked up this podcast setting is. Liam, the whitest guy in here, is our only minority because he's gay, right?
yeah,
and that
that's
is
all
like,
we've got.
I'm
and-
simultaneously the whitest person here and also the most diverse.
Yeah, exactly.
pretty close.
If Hitler was here, you get chosen first. like quite. So like,
I tell you what,
this is Newcastle comedy where this guy's the minority. Like so people are actually fucking catcalling you for being gay. Like, but like, did that actually fucking happen?
Yeah, it was fucking like
What the fuck, dude?
I should have known that it was going to be a fucked up night when the first row was the first one to fill up. Everyone knows, like
dude.
we've been to enough comedy shows.
They were very keen.
First
Yeah.
row is the last row to fill
Yeah,
up.
no.
They was filled up straight away.
Yeah.
Straight away.
really.
And it's like-
They've never been to comedy.
Never
before,
been to
no.
comedy.
well, thankfully, I had a heckler, but thankfully he had a stutter when he decided to heckle.
dude, I'm-
So he heckled me, but I was able to be like, da, 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 da.
So James brought up this thing when we're down.
Otherwise, he would have fucked
So
me.
like we were down in Melbourne and like we're like live streaming this thing down there. And we had a lot of downtime. And James was telling me about the time Trump like roasted Marco Rubio. Like, is that how you say his name?
Marco Rubio.
So Marco Rubio. Yeah. Marco Rubio. This thing has fucked my brain. Okay, I've gone to another dimension.
Rubik's Cubio.
Okay,
It's like,
so Rubik's Cubio. But James, okay, but
that's
like
the alphabet. Isn't it?
it was okay. So like James was like telling me a story about like how Trump roasted fucking old Marco. But like it was one of those things where like as trying to be like like navigate life through being a decent person, I fucking hated what Trump did. But as a stand-up comedian with the mentality of someone who's in year 3.
It was very funny.
Mwah.
It was very, very funny.
Wait, this is the water bottle thing that you're telling me about, James.
Oh, I can just show it.
Fuck yes.
It is one of the greatest fucking things ever. So you just gotta.
I've just got to wait for the ad to finish.
Richard Branson live in Australia.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So let's
What's he
go.
doing live? Showing his money.
Fuck. Okay.
Is this? I think this is Trump drinking. That's really weird. This isn't the Marco one.
No. So here we go. So this is Marco struggling and having to quickly take a sip of water. Mid-sentence.
That's him patronizing Marco. Like.
He's showing water.
They're just constantly like, and the thing is, like James, as you were saying, Marco got so upset that Trump was patronizing. Okay, your words were, "It works in year 3, it works in the Republican primary." So like,
Say what you want, but
so like, you guys would have to agree that is such fucking schoolyard bullying, and then like, the smarter person you hates it, but like, a little bit deep down, you're like, dude, that was fucking awesome.
I'm on Trump's side for this. And I think it's so much sadder that NBC News reported on this. That's that is.
Yeah, they went. That's how much like.
Because they're on his side also, but they just can't say that publicly. But they agree with him.
Can I just say,
it's funny.
How we got to this?
Absolutely ridiculous.
We literally got to this with a crowd member yelling at you, saying a fag. I'm like, oh, I know another bigot, Trump. Let's get to this piece of shit. But like,
was that Musselbrook?
that was Musselbrook.
Yeah. So like, and as anyone who's been to a stand-up comedy show, if you hear something at a comedian, you're a pretty experienced comedian. Like, how did you deal with that? Like, it's a pretty fucked up thing.
I personally, I didn't hear them say faggot.
Well, that's a fucking okay. So
That's even worse.
But that's
so
a fucking
they
dog move. If you're gonna yell something, the comedian needs to be able to hear. Because like, you fucking ripped that guy in your
Otherwise,
asshole.
you're just going, Elliot, Luke's shit at comedy.
No, it was.
Look at Luke's fucking face.
No, you keep going.
I also feel bad for Elliot.
Guys, can we get back? Like,
Elliot-
this is like, imagine how frustrating this would be to watch. Like, you're watching this, it's all in jokes, us screaming over the top
Brady,
of each other, us doing Trump shit.
No
and
one's
then-
watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Exactly. But then,
I watch this later.
You might watch this and be like, how many times did I fuck up, Luke?
Yeah, exactly.
Just jack off to it later.
How many times did I spell my name wrong?
Look,
Like,
I'll tell you
if there's
what.
someone watching, this is actually a heartfelt story, and I'm like, okay, if I want to hear,
Alright.
someone else will want to hear. Like, okay, so finish your point.
Let's
Liam.
bring it down
Oh,
like
God.
Luke does. Let's just
Alright,
What a hack.
So Liam, yeah.
So
What happened?
I thought Musselbrook was going to be like a transitional show, like because I was a little bit like going into the country. I didn't know how well my stand up was going to work,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, at least with Musselbrook, I'm probably going to like ease into it. But
Yeah.
that was hands down for me the worst show of the gig, worst show of the entire tour, because not only did I not do well, but I literally feared for my life.
It was hate
Oh,
crime.
fuck.
Yeah, it's a shithole.
I was supposed
It's a
to-
shithole.
I also-
It is actually a shithole. I'm from Scone,
Yeah.
and Musselbrook
Well, like,
is the worst because St Heliers,
Scone's
the jail is nearby, and so basically what happens in Musselbrook is your lovely husband who just robbed a servo goes to St Heliers, so then the family moves to Musselbrook.
No, here's what happened. Here's one thing I learned from going to all these shit towns,
Yeah.
like along, and not the ones we like played in necessarily all the time, like the ones we'd go through. It's like seriously.
So these guys are going to do another tour, all the same towns, if you want to book them. Yeah.
No, you'd be talking to people and like you'd be like, "What's the go of the town?" Blah blah blah. and they'd be like, they would say,
What is wrong with this shithole?
First question, where's the town? Second question,
What's wrong with
what's
this?
"Are you kidding, cunt?"
I'm from the area that is a shithole.
If he wasn't a stand-up comedian, he'd be calling like Liam a faggot.
I'll tell you what. This is how bad the area I'm from is. They think I've succeeded in life.
Yeah.
They have. I go back. And everyone asks, "How's comedy going?" You've left. How's Newcastle?
You've moved an hour and a half away.
It's got to be amazing. It's got to be
Well,
unbelievable.
look, the fact he can afford a train ticket to Newcastle, you'd be like, well,
He can't.
Actually, you don't need
he
to.
skipped the fare.
I know. Well, before there was no ticket machine at Scone, so you just get on,
Of course there wasn't.
and you could just say that you bought a ticket. But now with the
Fucking
Opal,
hell.
you can't do that.
Bloody Opal.
But I used to have so many free tickets.
Is that why no one else from Scone has come to Newcastle? Is that...
Oh, thank God for Opal.
They mustn't be aware of Opal. They mustn't be aware of Opal.
But no,
I like how most ethnic cleansing happens with an army, but like the state rail just did it with a $3.20 fare.
that wasn't that was getting rid of shitty white people. That's what that was doing. But like every time you go to these shit towns, they tell you like
build that.
every time you go to the really small shitty towns, they're always like, "Oh yeah, the jail's just near here, so everyone's shit." It's like we should all be in the fucking jail. This is a disgusting place.
They should just build another fence, but just circling the entire town.
Yeah,
and then-
it's one of those towns where if you can't pay rent, you'd be like, I'll just do a murder so I can get free rent.
It's one of those places where if you can't pay rent, you're cool. Like they look up to you.
Yeah, it's muscle.
They think you're sick.
Fucking hell.
Musselbrook's not even. That's good compared to some of the places
the only
we
thing
went.
I could think about is like how scummy those Musselbrook blokes were. A lot of them were like farm people, and it's like, remember the buy a bale thing? Everyone was like, we've got to save these farmers.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we shouldn't have saved all of them.
Yeah.
Maybe let's
Oh,
give it to kids with cancer or something next time, I think.
exactly.
Because until they can start getting their fucking homophobic
Yeah.
slurs under wraps,
Yeah,
then maybe they
Exactly.
can have some
Bizarre.
water.
Like, it's strange because like I did a joke about this. Like growing up in that community, and like this is how the joke went. Like I was like, I used to. I don't remember it.
Oh, fucking
Are you fucking kidding me?
This
The
is,
shit you've been going to me for.
like honestly, okay. This is
I
no.
did.
Can
It's
I
that-
see Jack for a second?
Steve, I remember. So there's this guy in a cave.
He's doing great.
Ladies and gentlemen, I like to say Steve White is an MC's worst nightmare because like people vouch for Steve, get him on a bill, like he's fucking funny. Everyone's like he's so good, he's blah blah. All right, Steve White, ladies and gentlemen. What are me jokes? And Liam's just like, I've never fucking met you, cunt.
I like how we did a.
This has happened so many times. Like it's unbelievable.
I like that we did a pod to sum up the tour, and then we brought on this drunk idiot to talk the whole time, and then forget what he was talking about.
I'll tell you what, I might be a drunk idiot, but
I've never said this before, but I've never wanted Elliot more. This is insane.
Oh.
That's how dark that one was. They were all like, "Oh, that's fucking."
Go back to making fun of his learning disability. No. Don't bring Elliot into it.
so
Low blow.
the joke,
Sorry, no, please.
yeah. So
He's remembered.
Jogo was
How, dude? Like your learning disability is for spelling, but
part-
like when you say, when you speak your misspellings, dude, fucking hell. So the joke you read. All right, let's listen to the joke that you do fucking common law to. Okay, that's
Hey, you guys can know me, right?
I wish I was smart enough to reply.
That's so sad.
Just tell your mum. Go back in time.
That's
say,
the
"Mum,
meanest thing you could have said to us.
Mum, don't have a 6-pack a night when you're pregnant. So anyway, Steve.
Sorry. How was your tour?
No,
What tour did he do? The tour from his house to fucking Audi to buy $4 beers.
Getting here was a tour.
it's been a mission for a long time. You know what I mean? To do anything. But yeah. So the joke, the idea behind the joke is that in the country, it's so.
You're the comedy equivalent of the guy who's in a wheelchair that they pick up to do a slam dunk.
I've got it
Fucking
now.
hell,
I said
Steve,
country.
just
I've got
fucking speak. All right, go. Fucking hell. All right, cool.
in the country, the
Ladies and
morals-
gentlemen, 10-year
the
veteran of Newcastle comedy, Steve White.
the
I work in
morals
4
are so. The morals are so fucked up. It doesn't make any sense.
Faggot.
Like,
Ah!
Oh, fucking hell. James, how
Ah.
long have you done? This has been
35 minutes on the dot.
If we can end on faggot, that'd be pretty good.
fucking hell.
I think we do that, and let's fucking
Oh.
come back and do another one later, because it's fucking 11 o'clock. He's got to wake up in 4 hours to shave me.
Yeah, guys. Thanks very much for listening. We're gonna be James is gonna be dropping a bunch more of these
Clips.
snippets from there. So like fucking.
Elliot
riff on
asked
that
me
for a
to
second.
delete that one because he thought he was bombing, which, I mean, I picked the best joke, dude. I don't know what
All I gotta say is, if Elliot goes delete the stuff where I'm bombing, just like dude, you're not giving yourself many options. That's all
Somebody
I'm
did to
saying.
us, Sans Elliot.
I hope you guys enjoyed Steve tonight. It's been a good show.
Did Brady and Elliot both not make it on this one? Okay. Oh no, wait. Okay. So because we're trying to wrap it up, Steve, can you just like fucking bookend this like real quick for us?
maybe Elliot thought you had.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Steve White, everybody. 10-year veteran of Newcastle comedy. Wrapping it up. Let's